Welcome to my fake theater again, everyone. And today's topic about will be why Marvel's Multiverse Saga is not successful as Infinity Saga. Well, it is just my opinion, and I hope you will respect it because everybody has different opinions and lots of people respecting it. I think you will too. If you don't, that's fine with me. I just share my own opinions, and I hope you won't get mad about it. Well, as you know, if you don't know, I was a huge fan of Marvel Cinematic Universe with the beginning of the first Iron Man movie. And that movie was phenomenal. Like great start for a good cinematic universe, or should I say shared universe. The shared universe concept never been done since in 2003 with Alien vs Predator and Freddy vs Jason. But now it happened with the Iron Man movie and it made a huge success. And Kevin Feige saved Marvel back then. But as you know, he's not very good guy for me anymore because of he got the idea of stealing, not really stealing, but Jeff Jones shows them Zack Snyder's plan. That's why we should all blame Jeff Jones for this. Even though in one of my videos I blame Feige, but I had a temper, so that's why it is all Jeff Jones' fault. Anyway, my thoughts about why Marvel's Multiverse Saga is falling down. You know, my thoughts is basically that even though there's lots of people says this is all Bob Cheapperk's fault. That's how we pronounce the name, not right? Bob Cheap. I'm gonna call him Cheapskate because that's what he is. Bob Cheesecake's fault. Cheapskate. You know, like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. But anyway, he caused the confusion all around the studio, and that affects Multiverse Saga that much. That becomes a huge flop as second installment in the MCU. But my opinion is this. It's just the budget is getting lower, and some of the characters, which is we all know and love in the Marvel comics, isn't look like we all expect it to. Like Thor becomes a clown-like character in the Thor 4, which is Love and Thunder, which is unnecessary sequel by so many levels. Like Love and Thunder shouldn't happen. Thor movies should end after Ragnarok. You know, I know there's a lots of people says there's a lots of stories they should be told. There's lots of stories left, but how are they gonna handle? Well, they can maybe, but not for me. I think the end game, which I like to call Infinity War Part 2, which is this should be called Infinity War Part 2. What's the point to call it end game? It's not really an ending in the MCU. But for me and some people, it is the end. But anyway, maybe that's the reason why it's falling down. Because the characters is not like in the comic book. Like Adam Warlock and Zayas in the Marvel comics. Even though Zack Snyder did a better job in Marvel. But still. And also, there is another problem I want to talk about. Just because of these shots from the comic look so real from the movies, that doesn't make it good. They should make the characters look like from the comic book counterparts. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, I liked it when it first came out, but I realized how cheap it was. Like, they should have cast new villains instead of bringing back the old ones. Like, if they wanted to bring back some old villains, I'll say Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx's Electro. Because Willem Dafoe back as Green Goblin is like a waste of time for me. Like, it was unnecessary. Matthew McConaughey should be Green Goblin. And also, this movie, also another complaint I want to say that Uncle Ben on the MCU and still there is no mentioning of him. And still, even though Aunt May says great power comes great responsibility to Peter before she dies, spoiler alert, and Peter says, I know, that makes it a hint, maybe Uncle Ben exists, but it's not seen or mentioning him or even shown in a flashback. Just show Uncle Ben in a flashback. That's all they have to do. But still, Spider-Man No Way Home, it's not a great film, but it's a little bit okay. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield literally saves the film, but not Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And also, like I said, Bob Cheapskate make this franchise divided, make the divide of Marvel fans and the comic book fans in general into two parts. I mean, two sides. You know, one of them is from Marvel supporters, and one of them is like actual Marvel supporters who respect the comic books. And also, I want to say about the low budget. I mean, the budget of the studio right now, because the effects looks cheaper than ever, like cheap as the '90s Super Mario Brothers movie. It's I know in the She-Hulk and in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man No Way Home there's some bad effects. And I gotta say this, they should have wait more time because every day is a superhero movie now. I mean, I think Marvel should have just wait at least one project to make it good. From now on, I have no faith from Marvel anymore. If they make a new X-Men movie, as in reboot, not to bring back the old cast in the MCU, I want a good X-Men reboot. And a good Fantastic Four reboot. Even though that Fantastic Four movie is going to be a crap, I have a feeling. But, who knows? I mean, if you like these movies, that's totally fine. That's really cool. I'm glad you like it, but I don't. But yeah, I wish Marvel Multiverse Saga is better than Infinity Saga. But I think it won't be anymore. I mean, it can't be, but the time will tell. Time will tell. From now on, Marvel is nothing but piece of crap right now. But it can be better. It can be. But only time will tell. And also about Jonathan Majors is, you know, the guy actor who plays Kang has some sort of confusing news about he's either abuser or not innocent. I can't say this. He can't be. That's really complicated about Jonathan Majors' condition right now. It's like Ezra Miller actually. Ezra Miller turns out to be innocent. I hope Jonathan Majors will be innocent too, like Ezra Miller. I have faith about him becoming innocent. I mean, that's all I have to say.